Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they quit too early. And the scary part, most of them never even realize when they quit. They don't wake up one day and say, "I'm giving up on my life." No, they quit quietly. They stop waking up early. They stop pushing when it gets uncomfortable. They stop believing this time will be different. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually followed through on a goal, even after the excitement died? Because that's the moment everything changes. Not at the start, not when it feels good, but when it feels pointless. Here's a truth most people avoid. Your feelings are not designed to build your future. They're designed to protect your comfort. That's why motivation disappears the moment resistance shows up. And that's where most people stop. They think if this mattered, it wouldn't feel this hard. But the opposite is true. If it didn't matter, your life wouldn't be testing you. Right now, there are two versions of you. One that keeps choosing comfort, and one that's tired of starting over. One that wants results, and one that's willing to earn them. The problem? Most people wait for clarity before they commit. They wait for confidence. They wait for signs. But winners don't wait. They move while confused. They work while scared. They show up while doubting themselves. And that's the mindset that changes everything. Because the moment you stop asking, "How long will this take?" and start asking, "How long am I willing to stay?" you become dangerous. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is the exact mindset that separates people who talk about change from the ones who actually live it. Let me talk to you for a moment, not as motivation, not as hype, but as truth. Have you noticed how tired you feel lately? Not physically, mentally. You wake up already drained. Your body moves, but your mind feels heavy. You scroll past other people's wins and think, "What am I doing wrong?" You try to stay positive. You tell yourself, "Tomorrow will lock in." But tomorrow comes and nothing changes. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just stuck in a loop. A loop where you start strong, then life hits. Bills, distractions, doubt, and slowly, without realizing it, you stop expecting more from yourself. You still dream quietly, but you don't chase them the same way, because chasing hurts now. It hurts to try and fail again. It hurts to explain to people why it still hasn't worked. It hurts to look in the mirror and wonder if you waited too long. And the scariest part, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, working, surviving, showing up. But deep down, you feel like you're wasting your potential, like there's more inside you, but you don't know how to reach it anymore. If that sounds like you, listen carefully, you're not alone. Millions of people are quietly fighting the same battle, smiling on the outside, questioning themselves in silence. And the fact that this message reached you, that's not random. It means the old way isn't working anymore. And that's where real change begins. Most people think the hardest part of success is starting. It's not. Starting is exciting. Starting gives you dopamine. Starting makes you feel alive. The hardest part is continuing when nothing is happening. Nobody prepares you for that phase. The phase where effort and reward are completely disconnected. Where you're working harder than ever and getting nothing back. No praise. No progress you can measure. No proof you're on the right path. Just silence. That silence breaks most people. Because the human brain is wired for feedback. We want results fast. We want signs. We want reassurance. But life doesn't work on your emotional timeline. And this is where the separation happens. Because there are two types of people in this world. Those who interpret silence as failure, and those who understand silence as incubation. Let me explain. Think about anything meaningful you've ever wanted. A better body, more money, respect, freedom, confidence. None of those things arrive early. They arrive late, and they always ask the same question first. How long are you willing to show up without proof? Most people answer that question without realizing it. They answer by quitting. They answer by distracting themselves. They answer by lowering the goal. They answer by saying, maybe this just isn't for me. But here's the truth most people never hear. The moment you feel like quitting is usually the moment right before things change. Not because of magic, but because of math. Growth is not linear. It's delayed. It stacks quietly and visibly until one day it shows up all at once. And when it does, the world calls you lucky. But luck had nothing to do with it. What they don't see are the nights you kept going with no motivation. The mornings you showed up tired. The weeks you questioned yourself and still didn't stop. That's the part nobody applauds. And that's exactly why it works. Because most people cannot tolerate boredom. excitement to stay consistent. They need motivation to act. They need validation to continue. Winners are different. They understand a dangerous truth. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is permanent. Motivation comes from emotion. Discipline comes from identity. Winners don't ask, "Do I feel like it today?" They ask, "Who do I refuse to become if I quit?" They don't move based on mood. They move based on principle. And that's what makes them hard to stop. Here's another truth that will change how you see your struggle. Your mind is not your ally at the beginning of growth. Your mind is designed to protect you, not to transform you. It prefers familiarity over improvement, comfort over growth, safety over potential. So when you try to change, your own mind fights back. It creates doubt. It creates fear. It creates excuses that sound logical. Rest today. Start tomorrow. You deserve a break. It's not the right time. Those thoughts aren't weakness. They're resistance. And resistance is proof you're moving in the right direction. If what you're doing feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and lonely, good. That's where growth lives. Most people think confidence comes first. It doesn't. Confidence is built after repeated action. You don't become confident and then act. You act badly, imperfectly, awkwardly, and confidence follows. Every rep you do while doubting yourself rewires your brain. Every day you keep a promise to yourself builds self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of unshakable confidence. This is why small promises matter. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you start. Show up even when nobody's watching. Because the real audience is the person you see in the mirror. And every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken that relationship. But every time you keep one, you reinforce an identity. I am someone who does what I say. That identity compounds. And eventually, you don't need motivation. You move because it's who you are. Here's something most people misunderstand. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's saying my future matters more than my comfort. And once you internalize that, everything changes. You stop negotiating with your emotions. You stop waiting to feel ready. You stop asking for permission. You move. Even slow movement is powerful, because slow movement beats no movement every time. Let me tell you something important. You are not failing because you're incapable. You're failing because you're quitting too early. You're judging your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. You're expecting mastery without surviving the beginner phase. Every strong person you admire was once confused, insecure, and unproven. They didn't avoid doubt. They outlasted it. And that's the real mindset shift. Success is not about intensity. It's about endurance. Anyone can go hard for a week. Anyone can feel inspired for a month. Very few people can stay consistent when it's boring, when progress is invisible, when nobody cares. That's why consistency is rare, and rarity creates value. If you can master the ability to keep going without emotional reward, you become unstoppable. Because life eventually has no choice but to catch up. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the next right thing again and again. Some days that looks impressive. Some days it looks pathetic. Both count. And one day, you'll look back and realize the version of you that almost quit was standing closer to the breakthrough than they ever knew. This is the mindset nobody teaches. The mindset that doesn't feel exciting, but changes everything to stay. Even when it's quiet, even when it's slow, even when you're unsure. Because steel isn't strong when it's untouched. It's strong because it stayed in the fire long enough to be forged. And so will you. Let this sink in. You didn't come this far just to come this far. Every late night, every quiet sacrifice, every moment you kept going when no one was watching, it mattered. Even when it didn't feel like it. Especially when it didn't feel like it. Because the truth is most people never fail at life. They quit while they're still becoming. They walk away right before the lessons turn into strength. Right before the struggle turns into confidence. Right before the pressure turns into power. But you stayed, and that already puts you ahead of most people. You don't need to move faster. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stay. Stay when it's boring. Stay when it's quiet. Stay when progress feels invisible. Because steel isn't forged in comfort. It's forged in fire. And every challenge you're facing right now is shaping a version of you that won't break when life gets heavy. So when doubt shows up, don't panic. That's just proof you're growing. When fear gets loud, don't run. That's just the old version of you, realizing its time is almost over. And if this message spoke to you, if it felt like it put words to something you couldn't explain, then this channel was made for you. Successful steel is for people who are done quitting on themselves. So subscribe not for motivation, but for the mindset that keeps you moving when motivation fades. New videos, real discipline, unbreakable focus. Remember this, the fire didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal who you really are. Stay in it, stay sharp, stay steel.
Subscribe and remain steel.